This is WICR.
Hello, Iona College. Welcome back to the Sports Vault. I'm your host with the most, Jersey Joe, coming with another Tuesday appearance, coming on early in the morning, giving you a little sports fix, everything about the games last night. The one thing I do want to lead off the bat in is I'm very happy the picks finally worked, back on track, 13-2 this week, broke the 10-win mark for the first time this season, and exceeded it with another 3 wins, so I'm very happy about that. The only 2 games I had wrong, the New England Patriots and the Cincinnati Bengals, and then the Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills. So a very good week. I'm already looking ahead at the picks for this week. It's a difficult week this week. It is. Last week was a nice one to kind of get back on track with. This week is a tougher week, but hopefully with the 13 wins, we'll build off from there. So Thursday, I'll be on with my NFL picks, so get ready for that. But last night, we had the last game of Week 5, and the Seattle Seahawks won 27-17 against the Washington Redskins, and if you can watch on the live stream, I am wearing my Russell Wilson Seattle Seahawks jersey, one of many. He's one of my favorite players in the game. And the one thing that I really like about Russell Wilson is I think there was kind of a perception about him where he was kind of just one of those guys. He was a game manager, a guy who just fit perfectly well into that Seahawks team. I mean, didn't have to do a lot. Great home environment. He's got so much talent around him. But I think the evolution of Russell Wilson is extremely impressive. I mean, you look at this guy play the game now, his improvement as in the passing game, making plays, evading in the pocket. I mean, he is becoming a very good player, Russell Wilson. He made a lot of plays. That game was kind of close last night. It was. And Russell Wilson really played a good game. His stat line, 18 for 24, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had a touchdown on the ground rushing as well. He had 122 yards rushing, actually, which, I mean, now that you think about it, it makes sense. But he was real. I mean, he can make plays. And the thing I like a lot about Russell Wilson is when he runs, he's smart about it. He's not like we always compare the 3 guys who came out of the draft class a couple years back. You had Luck, you had Griffin, and you had Wilson. Now, Luck and Wilson both are pretty good runners. They run the ball when they have to. But Griffin is the opposite. When Griffin runs, he gets killed. I mean, he just runs at the first sign of trouble. Russell Wilson's very smart about it. He's not going to take a big hit. He knows when the right time is to run, when he's got to slide. So, to be honest, the more I've seen of Russell Wilson's evolution of his game, I've been very impressed, and I think he's shedding that label of he's kind of just one of those plug-in guys for the system of the Seahawks. He's showing you, I mean, the one thing that I always think he's been underrated about is his arm. He's got a cannon of an arm. I mean, when he was coming out of Wisconsin, he was at NC State before that, the knock on him was size. I was never really as worried about the size because if you watched him in college, I mean, you saw physically he was just his arm was just ridiculous for his size. I've always been a fan of Russell Wilson, and man, he's playing really well right now. And for the Redskins, look, I mean, it hasn't been a good start to the year. It really has. I mean, RG3 went down. After that, you thought maybe Cousins was going to have a good start because he came in that game against Philly, really lit it up. And since that time, just really haven't seen a dominant, make-you-feel-good performance from Cousins. And I don't know right now. It looks pretty ugly for Washington. Just not a lot to be happy about there. I mean, I don't know. But the Seahawks, they get another win. They'll play the Cowboys on Sunday. That's going to be another very interesting game there. I like the Seahawks right now, just at home. You rarely ever pick against the Seahawks at home. But moving into the baseball front, last night the Dodgers losing again. I was on the Sports Vault on Monday. My partner and I, Big Shot Rob, we both picked the Cardinals to win that game. Now, give credit to Hyun-Jin Ryu for the Dodgers. He did go longer than I thought he would. He pitched pretty well, actually. We pitched 6 innings. I only thought he was going to be able to go about 4 with being dinged up, but he pitched a good game. Only gave up 1 earned run, that home run, and Ryu wasn't the problem last night. I mean, the Dodgers' problem has just been getting hits. I mean, and I've watched the Dodgers more than any baseball team this year, and one of my biggest concerns about them this year was they just had these stretches where they could just not generate any offense. I mean, they probably have the best lineup start to finish in baseball. I mean, when you have D. Gordon as your first guy, and you can end up with A.J. Ellis and then your pitcher, which don't really count, that's a heck of a lineup. You got Juan Uribe, guys like Juan Uribe as your 6th, 7th, and 8th guys. You've got a pretty darn good lineup there you could put guys out for, but the Dodgers in that game just struggled hitting, and the big thing is Yasiel Puig has just disappeared, man. I mean, I've been so disappointed in him because just the first half of the season, then after the All-Star break, you thought that this kid was just going to light it up, but he's just disappeared off the face of the earth since that time, and you've just been seeing, I mean, last night again, he did have a run last night, the one run, but still in the whole postseason from the stretch All-Star break on, Puig just been lost, and I think that's a big part of it. And for the Dodgers, this game tonight is just, it's do or die right now, and the main thing is Clayton Kershaw is on the mound, so you feel good having Kershaw on the mound, but like we were citing yesterday, I mean, Kershaw's record in the postseason is nothing stellar. I mean, 1-4 is not good. He has not been the same pitcher in the postseason as he has been in the regular season. I think that's a fair knock to put on him. But this is the game that can erase it all. You know, Clayton Kershaw last year, the Dodgers were in a similar situation. He was pitched on a couple days rest, and the Dodgers needed him, and he just didn't deliver. I mean, he got shelled in that game, and Clayton Kershaw's in a similar position. Can he erase that, put the bad taste out of our mouth? I don't know. You know, I really don't know. I'm rooting for the guy. He's going up against Shelby Miller tonight, which is he's a heck of a pitcher as well, so it's going to be a tough game. The Dodgers are going to have to hit tonight. I mean, last night, the one run, it wasn't going to cut it. I'm a little worried. I mean, Clayton Kershaw off the rest, it's very tough. I mean, if the Dodgers do find a way to win this game, I actually do like their chances with Greinke on the mound because, to be honest, Greinke has had a bit more postseason success in a Dodgers uniform than Kershaw has, but I guess just going by what you've seen, I think you've got to be a little weary of what Kershaw can do, but like I always say, I mean, one game can erase a whole the year past. I mean, Clayton Kershaw steps up for this game, and he brings his all that we know he's capable of doing. The Dodgers can erase that bad taste from their mouth, get this thing back where it needs to be. So today's game is actually at 5 o'clock. Unfortunately, I'll be in class for part of it, which doesn't make me too happy, but I got to find a way to see my man Clayton Kershaw. Got to find a way to watch this game. It should be exciting, though. I mean, either way you look at it, it's been a great postseason for baseball. It really has. I mean, the last couple weeks of the season were a little stale with football coming into the forefront, but it's been a very good postseason. I mean, you had big upsets, and hopefully today we'll get a couple more days out of these series. The Nationals won also last night, so they stay alive, but I still think it's going to be too tough for them to come back. They got to win 2 more games in a row against this Giants team. I just don't see that happening. One of the last things I wanted to address this morning was Arian Foster's comments. The Colts and the Texans are playing the Thursday night game this week, which is not bad. I mean, look, most of these games have been blowouts, but that kind of is part of his comments. So he said Thursday night football is annoying for players. I don't know one player who likes it. I don't know any fan who likes it. Now, I don't know about the fan part, but I would say 100% he's right on the player part. I mean, I talked about this a little bit last week. The Thursday night games are extremely difficult to prepare for as an NFL team. I mean, that is a short week. You've only got a couple of days to turn around and to prepare for that. And my dad, it was the first person who said it to me, and he's got 100% spot on. The road team is at such a major disadvantage in these Thursday night games because just in terms of preparation, resting up, and you've seen that in the results. I mean, every single game we've seen of the Thursday night games this year, the home team has dominated the game. I mean, last week you had Packers dominating the Vikings, wasn't even close. Part of that was Christian Ponder was in the game, which didn't help, but still, I mean, you had the Redskins and the Giants. That game was actually on the road, but the Giants, regardless, did win that game very handily. You had week 1 with the Seahawks at home. Again, pretty handily, but that was the first game of the season. The Ravens at home against the Steelers, again, and then the Falcons at home against the Buccaneers. So all those games, none of them were competitive. And as a fan, I mean, you're going to watch because it's football. You love watching the game. You'll get as much of it as you can, but there's a cutoff point for those games. And if you were watching that Atlanta game a couple weeks ago, that game was over in the first quarter. They're up 21-0. Go do something else. Don't waste your time watching the Falcons just blow this team out. And I think that's part of it. In the NFL, nothing's going to change with this because it's more content. Everybody's always trying to get more content any way that they can. So they're not going to do anything about this, but I don't know. I agree with Arian Foster. I mean, I think it's an unfair thing to put these players through because just recovery-wise, it's really not physically possible to recover that quickly. And I think game plan-wise for an NFL coach, it's very difficult. And look, at the end of the day, it's all about excitement. If it's a good content, people are going to watch it. And right now, even going back to last year, the games haven't been that great. So definitely something there that I think Foster's comments, I mean, look, he's a guy who's never afraid to voice his opinion. And in this case, I definitely agree with this opinion. And the last thing to get to, though, I was going to go a little bit in the NBA direction. I mean, we're moving very close into the NBA season, and I'm so excited to start talking NBA season. I mean, if you follow me on my social media accounts, at Twitter, at SportsVaultIona, you know how adamantly I love the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron James, I have an emphatic just obsession with him. Probably my favorite athlete currently, and just I'm so excited for the season to come around. It's really going to be a good season, and when we get into the later part of October, Iona College Radio is actually having a radiothon. The opening day, October 28th. So we're gonna have just total NBA coverage on that. The day before is a Monday on the Sports Vault. We'll do our power rankings of the season, get more into it. But right now it's preseason. We're getting a little taste of basketball right now. And last night you saw Kobe Bryant, and he was playing his game last night, and he didn't do too badly. I mean, I saw some of the highlights. You don't really watch too much preseason basketball just because of everything else. I mean, football going on right now, baseball playoffs going on right now. But I followed a little bit. I just want to see how people are moving, and that's probably one of the most frequent questions I get is, what do I think about the Lakers this year, about Kobe Bryant? The one thing you have with Kobe fans is they're still adamant that they still think he's the best player in the league. They still don't think that there's going to be much of a drop-off in his play. And the main thing, you got to look at Kobe Bryant. I mean, you got to be realistic. This is a guy who's coming off 2 major injuries. He's in the major later part of his career, and there's just not a ton of talent on this Lakers team. I mean, they're definitely better than they were last year talent-wise. Carlos Boozer and Jeremy Lin are major upgrades, but they lose Jody Meeks, who was one of their more consistent players last year. Nick Young is going to be out for a while. Look, Nick Young is what he is. I mean, he's going to shoot the ball 20 times a game. He never thinks he's going to miss, but he can score the basketball. And so the Lakers as a whole, they're not going to have a good year. I mean, the West is just way too difficult. They're not going to be as bad as last year. They've got to buy in on the defensive end. I mean, that's the first thing that Byron Scott should just be. The second they all came into training camp, he should have just shown them all those plays last year where they just missed defensive errors. I mean, especially that game against the Clippers where they gave up the most points in their franchise history. I mean, it was embarrassing defensively last year. Now, Kobe's on the court again this year. I hope he gets to stay healthy. I mean, look, regardless if you like Kobe or if you don't, he's one of the greatest players of all time. It's just been a joy to watch him play, and when it's all said and done, it's one of those guys where you just got to reflect on it and just enjoy what you were able to see. I mean, you saw a guy, maybe nowhere near as fierce a competitor as Michael Jordan, and as close to it as you could possibly have gotten, and it was just a joy to watch him play. So I hope that he stays healthy. It's going to be tough for him seeing him because they really are going to just struggle this year. It's going to be kind of watching mediocrity with the Lakers this year, but you know what? Whenever Kobe's on the floor, you've got my attention, so definitely we'll keep an eye on that. But that is going to do it for your little Sports Vault recap of the day. Moving into the day, got those big baseball games tonight. To the forefront later, we'll be on with the NFL picks. So thank you for tuning in, and everybody have a great day.